Seattle Storm versus Chicago Sky. Wintrust Arena is the venue where the Chicago Sky, 7-16, will play the Seattle Storm 14-10 on Thursday. The Seattle Storm played the Dallas Wings and took a loss by a final of 87-63 in their last game. Seattle walked away from the contest having earned a 30.7% field goal percentage, 23 of 75, and converted 4 of their 21 three-pointers. From the charity stripe, the Storm made 13 of their 14 tries for a rate of 92.9%. When talking about rebounding, they collected a total of 34, with 6 of them being of the offensive sort. They also doled out 18 assists for this game, while forcing the opposition into 15 turnovers and earning 8 steals. In the matter of defense, Seattle allowed their opponent to shoot 45.1% from the field on 32 of 71 shooting. Dallas doled out 9 dimes and had 6 steals in the matchup. In addition, Dallas pulled down 48 rebounds, 9 offensive, 39 defensive, and added 7 rejections. Dallas ended up shooting 76.5% from the charity stripe by knocking down 13 of their 17 attempts. They converted 10 of 23 shots from beyond the arc. Nneka Ogwumike is a player who came through for this game. She ended up walking away with 22 points on 10 of 19 shooting. She saw the court for 26 minutes and grabbed 2 rebounds. Ogwumike finished shooting 52.6% from the floor, but didn't record a dime. Seattle comes into this game with a win-loss record of 14-10 so far this year. They turn the ball over 11.9 times per game, and as a group, they commit 17.3 personal fouls per game. As a team, Seattle is pulling in 31.2 boards per game and has racked up 500 dimes for the season, which ranks second in basketball in terms of passing the rock. The Storm are shooting 33.4% on shots from three-point land, 177 of 530, and 77.7% from the charity stripe. They average 80.2 points per outing, 9th in the league, while shooting 44.1% from the field. Defensively, the Storm are forcing 14.7 turnovers per contest, and they draw 17.0 personal fouls. They rank 8th in the WNBA in giving up assists, with 454 conceded on the season. The Storm defensively are giving up a field goal percentage of 43.3%, 353 of 408, and they relinquish 36.0 boards per contest as a unit. They give up 32.9% on shots from distance, and they are 3rd in the league in PPG allowed, 78.5. The last time they took the hardwood, the Chicago Sky took a loss by a score of 91-68 when they played the Minnesota Lynx. The Sky corralled 24 defensive boards and 12 offensive boards for a total of 36 for the contest. They gave up possession of the ball 21 times, while getting 6 steals for this contest. The Lynx had 15 fouls for this contest, which got the Sky to the charity stripe for 16 attempts. They were able to convert 13 of them for a clip of 81.3%. In regard to shots from beyond the perimeter, Chicago made 7 of 16 attempts, 43.8%. When the game finished, the Sky ended up going 24 for 61 from the field, which gave them a shooting percentage of 39.3%. The Sky permitted the Lynx to convert 31 of their 70 attempts from the floor, which had them sitting at 44.3% in this game. They shot 31.0% from three-point land by connecting on 9 of 29 and ended up shooting 20 out of 24 at the free throw line, 83.3%. Concerning how they rebounded, Chicago permitted Minnesota to grab 31 overall, 10 offensive. Kia Nurse pitched in for the Sky for this game. She made 5 out of 10 in the matchup for a field goal rate of 50.0% and had 8 rebounds. Nurse had 16 points in her 33 minutes on the court and accounted for 1 assist in the matchup. Chicago has a win-loss mark of 7-16 for the campaign, and their current position reflects a team struggling to find rhythm on both ends of the floor. Despite flashes of competitiveness and some standout individual performances, the Sky have yet to string together enough consistency to rise in the standings. They've had close games that slipped away late, defensive lapses that erased early leads, and scoring droughts that proved too costly to overcome. With a few tweaks and improved execution, the Sky still have the pieces to play spoiler down the stretch, even if postseason hopes are fading. Chicago has scored 1,784 points this year, averaging 77.6 points per game. This scoring output ranks near the bottom of the WNBA, revealing their difficulties in generating efficient and consistent offense. Part of the issue has been the lack of a true go-to scorer who can create in isolation, and their offensive sets often rely on ball movement rather than individual brilliance. While that can create open looks when executed well, the Sky have struggled with spacing, finishing inside, and converting from mid-range at a high level. There's also been a clear dependence on transition opportunities to generate offense, and when opponents force them into a half-court game, their efficiency suffers. They are snagging 36.6 rebounds per contest, a mark that keeps them afloat on the glass. Ranking in the top half of the league in rebounding, the Sky do a decent job of crashing the boards, especially on the defensive end, with multiple players contributing in that area. However, their rebounding advantage doesn't always translate into extra possessions or second-chance points due to their low field goal percentage. Rebounding remains one of the few categories where Chicago maintains an edge, and they'll need to continue dominating this area to stay competitive in games where their offense sputters. The Sky have committed 19.0 personal fouls per game, a number that continues to hurt them in close contests. This tendency to foul frequently allows opponents easy trips to the free throw line, bailing them out of difficult possessions and slowing the game down. Combined with their own offensive struggles, these fouls often lead to scoring runs that put Chicago in tough positions to mount comebacks. Their discipline, particularly on closeouts and when defending the paint, must improve if they want to reverse this trend. From the free throw line, Chicago is shooting 76.9%, which ranks around league average. This reliability at the stripe is a bright spot, as they don't leave too many points behind at the line. However, given the number of close games they've lost, even a small bump in this percentage could make a significant difference. Their ability to draw fouls and get to the line has also been inconsistent, limiting their chances to capitalize on one of the more efficient scoring opportunities in basketball. Offensively, the Sky are shooting 42.0% from the field, which ranks 9th in the league. This field goal percentage indicates below-average efficiency and a lack of high-quality shot creation. Chicago often struggles against teams that defend the paint well, and their perimeter shooting hasn't been consistent enough to stretch defenses. The lack of spacing clogs driving lanes and leads to contested looks late in the shot clock. Their offensive struggles can also be attributed to an imbalance in ball movement and occasional stagnation in half-court sets. They are dishing out assists 19.0 times per contest, ranking 9th in the WNBA. This suggests that while the Sky move the ball decently, it's not always translating into efficient scoring. The ball movement is often too predictable, and without elite shot creators, they struggle to convert those passes into high-percentage makes. When they do find rhythm, the offense can hum along nicely, but it's rare that it sustains over 4 quarters. Turnovers have also plagued Chicago, as they give the ball away 15.8 times per contest. These miscues come in many forms: unforced errors, miscommunication on passes, and dribbling into traffic. The high turnover rate offsets the few offensive runs they're able to string together and frequently turns into fast break points for the opposition. Protecting the basketball must become a point of emphasis if they hope to close the gap with more disciplined teams. On the defensive end, the Sky rank 11th in the league in points allowed per game, surrendering 86.5 per contest. This has been one of the team's biggest weaknesses. as they've been unable to string together consistent defensive stops, whether it's struggling to defend pick and rolls, slow help rotations, or giving up too many open threes. The Sky's defense often breaks down when facing top-tier offenses. Their inability to control the pace and their reliance on fouling exacerbates these issues. They have conceded 21.3 assists and 33.8 rebounds per game, ranking 11th and 5th in the WNBA, respectively. While their rebounding numbers on the defensive end are respectable, the high number of assists allowed is a concern. It signals defensive lapses, especially in rotating out to shooters and miscommunication when switching. Chicago often allows opponents to move the ball too freely, leading to open looks and easy baskets inside the arc. Their perimeter defense is particularly vulnerable, as the Sky surrender 36.8% shooting from three-point range, 230 of 625, one of the worst marks in the league. Opponents are often able to get clean looks from beyond the arc, especially in transition or after collapsing the defense. This lack of effective closeouts and overhelping on drives has left their perimeter exposed throughout the season. Opponents are making 73.3% of their shots from the charity stripe, a relatively average mark, but still one that reflects Chicago's tendency to foul. While they aren't getting burned by free throw percentage, they are still giving away too many free points. They are forcing only 12.0 turnovers per game, a number that ranks near the bottom of the league and emphasizes their passive defensive approach. Without applying much pressure or forcing mistakes, the Sky allow their opponents to operate comfortably in the half court. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Seattle ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Las Vegas Aces versus Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever, 12-12, host the Las Vegas Aces 12-11 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Thursday. The Las Vegas Aces took the court against the Atlanta Dream and notched a win by a score of 87-72 in their last contest. Las Vegas finished with a 44.9% field goal percentage, 31 out of 69, and converted 6 out of their 23 pointers. At the free throw line, the Aces made 19 of 21 tries for a rate of 90.5%. Regarding rebounding, they earned 34, with 5 of them being of the offensive variety. They also dished out 20 assists for the matchup, in addition to forcing 19 turnovers and getting 13 steals. In relation to defense, Las Vegas allowed their opponent to shoot 38.5% from the floor on 25 of 65 shooting. Atlanta doled out 6 dimes and had 5 steals in this contest. Furthermore, Atlanta pulled down 31 rebounds, 6 offensive, 25 defensive, and got 2 blocks. Atlanta finished the contest at 76.5% from the charity stripe by making 13 of 17 shots. They also converted 9 of 27 attempts from beyond the arc. A'ja Wilson is someone who was a factor in this contest. She accumulated 24 points on 9 of 18 shooting. She was on the hardwood for 31 minutes and pulled down 12 rebounds. Wilson finished shooting 50.0% from the floor and also recorded 5 assists. Las Vegas comes into this one with a mark of 12-11 this season. They are averaging 80.9 points per game, 8th in the WNBA, while going 41.8% from the field. The Aces are connecting on 32.5% on shots from distance, 185 of 570, and 83.7% from the free throw line. As a team, Las Vegas is pulling down 33.2 rebounds per game and has accumulated 397 assists so far this year, which has them ranked 12th in the WNBA in terms of passing the ball. They are turning it over 12.9 times per game, and as a basketball team, they are committing 17.1 personal fouls per game. When they are on defense, the Aces are able to force 12.8 turnovers per contest while drawing 18.3 personal fouls. They currently rank 11th in the league in allowing assists to the opposition with 489 surrendered this season. The Aces are allowing a shooting percentage of 44.1%, 294 of 421, and they relinquish 34.9 rebounds per game as a group. They are conceding 33.7% on three-point attempts, and they are ranked 9th in the WNBA in points per game allowed, 81.7. When they last stepped on the court, the Indiana Fever took a loss by a score of 98-84 against the New York Liberty. The Fever recorded 24 defensive rebounds and 6 offensive boards, totaling 30 in this contest. They turned it over 19 times while earning 13 steals in the matchup. The Liberty earned 17 fouls in the game, which got the Fever to the charity stripe for 14 attempts. They were able to bury 12 of the free throw tries for a clip of 85.7%. When it comes to shots from beyond the arc, Indiana buried 10 of 33 tries, 30.3%. When all was said and done, the Fever finished 31 out of 74 from the field, which gave them a shooting percentage of 41.9%. The Fever allowed the Liberty to knock down 33 of 64 tries from the floor, which gave them a shooting percentage of 51.6% in the game. They finished 54.5% from three-point land by going 12 out of 22 and ended up shooting 20 of 21 at the free throw line, 95.2%. When discussing cleaning up the glass, Indiana permitted New York to pull down 34 overall, 4 on the offensive side. Kelsey Mitchell ended up being a factor for the Fever in the game. She converted 11 out of 21 in the game for a field goal percentage of 52.4% and had 2 rebounds. Mitchell earned 29 points in her 35 minutes on the court and had 2 dimes in the game. Indiana has a record of 12-12 on the season, hovering around the .500 mark and showing tangible signs of growth compared to recent seasons. The Fever are quickly becoming one of the more intriguing young teams in the WNBA, built around a talented core that is learning to compete at a high level while ironing out inconsistencies. Their ability to hang tough in competitive games, combined with stretches of impressive offense, gives them the look of a team that could be dangerous if they find their stride down the stretch. While not yet among the league's elite, Indiana's trajectory points upward, with every game offering valuable experience for a roster filled with rising stars. The Fever are responsible for committing 19.6 fouls per game, a stat that reflects their aggressive and sometimes overzealous defensive approach. While physicality can be an asset, Indiana is still working to balance pressure defense with discipline. Fouls often disrupt their rhythm and give opponents easy points at the line, a costly exchange in close matchups. If they can cut down on unnecessary contact, especially on the perimeter and during second-chance opportunities, the defense will take a step forward in efficiency. At the charity stripe, Indiana is converting 76.2% of their attempts. This free throw percentage is about league average, but it suggests there's room for improvement, especially considering how often they reach the line. Key players have been reliable from the stripe, but others have struggled in clutch situations. Raising that percentage just slightly could be the difference in several close games as the Fever continue to hover near the playoff cut line. They are getting an assist 20.1 times per game, which ranks 7th in the WNBA, indicating a solid commitment to ball movement. The Fever are at their best offensively when the ball doesn't stick and players are in constant motion, creating open looks and mismatches. Though they don't always get credit for the pass before the pass, the Fever run a fairly fluid offense when their spacing is correct and screens are set cleanly. Their assist numbers suggest a system designed to find the high percentage shot, particularly inside the arc. Indiana coughs up possession 13.0 times per contest, which is a respectable number. They do a decent job of taking care of the basketball, especially for a team with several young contributors in major roles. Their guards have shown improved decision-making, and while there are occasional miscommunications or forced passes in traffic, turnovers have not been a consistent Achilles heel. Continued improvement in this area will be crucial against elite defensive teams that thrive on creating transition chances. Indiana has scored 2,021 points on the season, averaging 84.2 per game. That output ranks them in the upper half of the league and underscores how far the offense has come since early in the year. With a healthy mix of transition buckets, strong post play, and the ability to stretch the floor with shooters, the Fever have built a well-rounded offensive identity. They're capable of going on extended runs, especially when their spacing and pace are in sync. Contributions from multiple scoring threats help keep defenses honest, and the team's willingness to share the ball boosts their efficiency even further. They pull in 33.8 rebounds per contest, which is a middle-of-the-pack number but slightly deceptive. While the overall figure isn't eye-popping, Indiana is opportunistic on the glass and frequently secures keyboards during crunch time. They often rely on team rebounding, with guards helping crash the glass and bigs working to box out rather than chase boards. Though they don't dominate on the boards, they've held their own against some of the league's top rebounding squads, especially when rotations are tight and energy levels are high. On the offensive side of the ball, the Fever are connecting on 45.5% from the field, which ranks second in basketball. A remarkable figure that highlights just how efficient this group has become. Their ability to finish inside, especially off high pick-and-roll action and in transition, has been a huge boost to their scoring totals. They've also seen improved mid-range accuracy and have a few players capable of creating their own shots off the dribble. The combination of smart shot selection and good ball movement has helped keep their field goal percentage among the league's best. Defensively, the Fever are ranked 8th in the league in points per game given up, allowing 80.9 per contest. While not a dominant defense, they have shown signs of becoming more cohesive and disciplined. They rotate better than they did earlier in the season and are beginning to communicate more effectively on switches. The Fever tend to struggle against high-powered offenses, especially teams with elite shooters, but their defensive effort rarely wavers. Their scheme is predicated on challenging shots without overextending, and they have gradually become better at closing out without fouling. The Indiana defense allows opponents to shoot 31.6% from beyond the arc, 173 of 548, which is among the better three-point defensive marks in the league. This shows that they're doing a solid job contesting perimeter shots and limiting open looks from deep. Their rotations out to shooters are more consistent now, and they've done a good job adjusting when teams attempt to space them out. Holding teams to under 32% from three has been a big reason for their competitive games, even when they've been outmatched in the paint. Indiana allows opponents to shoot 43.2% from the field, ranking 7th in the league, a solid mark for a fast-paced team. Despite occasional lapses in help defense, they've done well limiting drives and avoiding excessive fouling. If this trend continues, the Fever could evolve into a well-rounded team capable of winning both defensive battles and high-scoring games. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Indiana Moneyline. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.